Since youth, we've all had a similar dream bouncing around in our thoughts, wrapped in hope, sprinkled with doubt. We share the same origin story with unique individual endings and routes. We've always wanted to be like them, but little did we know, all we had to be was us. So take away the entrance and the pyro, the fans and the clicks, the get-up and the gimmick. Take away the pen and the paper, the money and the fame, and you're left with the essentials. This is just the ring and the boys. This is just us. This is just wrestling.
The final episode of Just Wrestling Season 1 is now. It's time to see who's going to step up for a second fight. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm Trevin Adams, joined by Zach Romero, and I see Benji Neptune. I see August Artois, and here's the situation. It's been a dedicated day of wrestling. These men agreed to fight as many times as it takes. They wanted as many fights as possible, but the reality is these guys don't normally fight more than once in one day. And hell, look at August Artois. I think the dude thought his night was over. He's in jeans, he's in a hat.
It very well could be. This has been the ultimate experiment in professional wrestling. And to see these two athletes lock it up, Artois already won in now. This is going to be incredible.
It's fight time right now. Excited to see a clash of styles here. August Artois definitely has the experience, which is pretty mind-blowing because usually we talk about August as so new to the sport, but again, a little over 2 years taken head first down by Benji. Benji in that 1 year territory. Of course, Benji, so much of an athletic background. August, on the other hand, is a guy that he doesn't worry about the athleticism. August is about the showmanship.
Oh, very true. The confidence off the charts. We've talked about it before, but Benji here, not only is Benji so quick, but we've seen it before. The absolute power of this young man is unbelievable. Slight exaggeration, perhaps, but Benji may be the strongest dude here at Just Wrestling.
Keep an eye out. August Artois in the match we saw earlier this season of Just Wrestling, winning by submission. Benji winning by pinfall. Doesn't mean to say there's not going to be a knockout. Doesn't mean to say, again, either man could submit you or pin you. But it's just interesting to get a feel for what to expect, especially in the case of August, when there's desperation at hand.
Well, not only could there be knockouts, but let's not forget, we got a 10-minute time limit here on this matchup. So you got to think these guys are both going to kick it into overdrive to try to get that finish fast.
Artois has got a good 5 inches plus on Benji Neptune. Maybe about 15 pounds, but you can see just the muscle. However, that doesn't matter when you get your legs sweeped out. Great job by August.
Just grabbing that ankle and yanking and pulling Benji right on his back, throwing him off. And you can see, I think Benji might be slightly impressed.
Artois is a guy who will tell you how good he is, and we've both admitted before that unfortunately August can back it up, as annoying as he can be. Of course, Benji, conversely, man, level 1 CrossFit instructor, has stood out in so many different sports here throughout his athletic background as August Artois refuses to let go. Something's got to give.
Benji basically just a would-be power lifter here at Just Wrestling, and we have seen the strength showcased by this man is otherworldly at times. Oh my goodness.
Benji's also actually legitimately a power lifter now, to go on top of the Taekwondo, Olympic weightlifting, amateur wrestling, football, and we're seeing athleticism on display, but now's that strength. Wow.
Just caught a full-grown man in the air.
Then Artois kicks out. You got to think. Artois, though, I don't see Artois with a lot of life in him right now, Zach. I'm wondering how rocked Artois is, let alone tired from a long day.
That's true. Artois might have bitten off a little more than he could chew here, double dipping as it were. And Benji, he looks like he can go all night like a porch light. Benji is on another level.
Yeah, what a chop. And that's the thing. If you're here at Just Wrestling, if you're at ringside, you're prepared to fight. That's what I said. These guys will fight as many times as it takes. Oof, what a chop. But we're only going to see 3 matches of guys having to fight for the second time. We're really going to get to learn a lot about these particular fighters.
Well, we're learning about them, and I think, truth be told, they're learning something about themselves. For a lot of these guys, this is the first time they've ever had an atmosphere like this. I don't even know if there is an atmosphere like this at any other company. This is a situation where this is really pushing themselves to that new level in competition.
The beautiful reversal now followed by that drop kick. Agility on display of Benji Neptune into the pin. Artois just gets the shoulder off, and for a guy who claims he's top tier, one of a kind, 5-star, first class, iconic, etc., well, right now taking a beating. Benji's looking great.
Yeah, no nonsense coming out of Benji Neptune here. Laced up the shoes tight and coming back for more, and Artois is begging for mercy a little bit here, looking for a little bit of breathing room, but Benji's staying on his man.
And I think Benji has more than once been into workouts of the day where he goes over and over and over again. Artois maybe not so much, but hey, guess what? You can't prepare to be hitting the back of the head with a lariat. Great move by Artois.
Basically a sniper shot with that arm, really throwing the momentum off here. And that's the thing about Artois is, yeah, he's got the skill set. Yeah, he is good in that ring, but he's got that ruthlessness, that element, that willingness to dig down deep and play dirty if need be.
And like a shark when there's blood in the water, Auguste Artois is ready to strike. Look at that flash to go with that drop kick. Now the pin.
He's always wanted to put a little sizzle on that steak, but be that as it may, Artois here really getting back in the driver's seat, really building up that momentum on his own, and really looking to perhaps make an example to be top dog here at Just Wrestling.
Well, think about it. If you're here to fight, man, you want to win, and given the fact that both of these guys have already won fights today, there's some bragging rights. We may not focus on records here in Just Wrestling, but who's kidding who? They know! And a great catch by Benji Neptune, pinfall. Artois just gets a shoulder up.
Not just the hoist up, but Benji followed him all the way down to ensure, by the way, you were going to feel every bit of this as you hit the canvas. And just like that, Artois again digging down dirty in order to save his own skin.
Benji dumped headfirst into the turnbuckle. You see the concern from the official, making sure that Benji still has the lights on. As stated, we've seen knockouts before at Just Wrestling. Is this enough? Not quite.
We've seen knockouts before. We've seen pinfalls aplenty. And Artois really looking to capitalize on any advantage that he can get. And you saw there's no science, there's no technical way to properly land when you're getting thrown face first into a buckle.
And I think that comes back to the point, about training. You can only train so much for the fight. Once you get in the fight is when we find out. And Neptune, known for his grit, is that grit going to get him through the onslaught from Artois?
Great question. And now look at this. Both reading from each other's books and double clothesline.
Man, could you imagine a double knockout situation?
Well, it's true. We could be setting yet another state here at Just Wrestling. We've seen a lot of firsts in this experiment, and I'd say this whole thing has been just another level from the get-go, Trev, and I'm so honored that we've been able to play a small part in this.
We're getting there. Are we seeing signs of life? Up to 7 already. Now 8, but both athletes just enough to break the count. And what does it say that these two are just striking right now when they can barely even get up?
At a certain point, it's just about toughness. The finesse, the technicality gets thrown out the window, and it's just two dudes beating each other here, seeing who is the tougher one. Ooh.
Yeah, will it be Benji time? Will it be real raw? We're going to find out now.
Oh, wait a minute. Benji putting the air brakes on. Very impressive roll through. Couldn't keep a hold of his man. Oh, ho, ho, ho.
And it was Artois now smart enough to hold onto the ropes, but Benji whiffed the answer. And is it going to be Benji time? Wow. With these dumping down Artois, but you can tell what both of these men have been through. Benji not able to capitalize quickly into the pin.
Whoa. Dangerously close. The look on Benji's face tells the story. Dangerously close to toppling Artois there.
You hear, though, the fighters chanting Benji time. Is that going to help Benji get some adrenaline flowing? Of course, Artois could give two craps. Who cares about Artois? And managing to land on his feet, get to the top, but Artois caught by Benji and dumped over.
Caught with his hand in the cookie jar, and Benji making him pay for it there. And again, somehow, some way, Benji able to try to build that momentum up. Exhaustion be damned. And what a clothesline.
Now we're seeing Benji time taking things over here. Benji definitely knows how to execute, and what a beautiful elbow. Wow! May have knocked out Artois.
Just the momentum being used against Artois there. Again, both these athletes pushing themselves beyond their limits, really trying to make a name for themselves here and really close out Just Wrestling Season 1 with a bang.
You see the concern from the official, whether or not Artois can continue this fight. I wouldn't be surprised if we're in another knockout situation here. Maybe the body of Artois gave in, officials letting this continue on. This fight's went longer than I expected, to be honest, as well. I mean, think about it. We've talked about a 10-minute time limit, but both men have been fighting. Both men came in tired.
Oh, this is unbelievable. You want to talk about overtime? This is crazy. The fact that these two are able to slug it out like they are after already being through so much in Just Wrestling already. I cannot believe it. I cannot believe what I'm seeing.
Powerlifter was raked in the face by Artois. And unfortunately, I hate to admit it, but a smart move by Artois to stop Benji. Official had no clue. Now look at those elbows. Vicious elbows. Can Benji defend himself?
Getting out of dodge is Artois' middle name, and wow.
Yeah, reverse DDT connects. Artois put a lot of guys away with this and beats Benji Neptune. Wow.
Incredible showcase of both these athletes. The unbelievable toughness. You can see the exhaustion here. They have earned every ounce of respect in a matchup like that.
Yeah, definitely earned the respect. And crazy to think we're just getting things started here on Just Wrestling.
Just Wrestling is 100% funded by the boys. This isn't a promotion, a company, or even a live show. No titles, no record keeping. Just Wrestling is exactly what it says it is. Just Wrestling. A group of motivated individuals that don't have the patience to wait around for something to happen and simply make it happen. All egos aside, Just Wrestling is where you come to see how bad you really are and put your skills to the test. Welcome to Just Wrestling.
Fight back against energy drink burnout. Punched energy gummies are made with 100% natural caffeine, taken when you need them. So there's no crash, no jitters. Personalize your power. Visit punchedenergy.com.
Time for another fight here. And keep in mind, ladies and gentlemen, this is going to be second fights for two athletes. Who is going to end up here in the Just Wrestling ring?
It's almost, Trev and I almost call it like a cult-like atmosphere. It's a situation where the Kool-Aid has come to fruition. Everyone here is almost in a trance. They want that fight. They want that respect of their peers. It's on another level.
Oh, Cam Fox. Oh, and Kai Price. Nice. And you hear the reaction here of all the fighters at Just Wrestling. And there's a reason for that. If the gear doesn't give it away, think back to earlier this season when we talked about both of these guys' fights. They are trained at the Heart Dungeon by TJ Wilson, Natalia Neidhart. They've got to know each other well, Zach.
Oh, this is beyond just respect. This is personal. This is two amazing athletes coming out of the same training camp. This is going to be an incredible showcase here. And truly the test. You want to talk about finals? This is the test of all tests. Who was the better student?
Yeah, and I almost wonder as these two lock up with intensity, by the way. Our official, Kai Douglas, you noticed he was kind of over there in the direction of Kai Price. You got to wonder, was there any suggestions coming or just inspiration coming to our official when something hit him and he said, you know what might be interesting? Let's get two people from the Heart Dungeon in there. Let's see what they can do. Let's see what happens when you train every day. Well, how does it change when it's fight time?
Oh, and you said right from the beginning, you know these two know each other better than anybody. They are going to know each person's counter, their possible alternate counter, the counter for the counter. These two know each other so well that how do you dominate something like that? When you've got an opponent that knows you better than you know yourself, how do you beat that?
You're seeing here, both have a technical style, both have agility. Honestly, both similarly sized, maybe 10 pounds different. Little bit of a height for Fox, a little bit of a weight advantage for Price. This is exciting and a handful of hair. Look at the surprise on the face of Cam Fox.
Hey man, at a certain point, goody two-shoes doesn't cut it, and you're gonna have to go a little bit further than perhaps the teachers allow you in school. And we're seeing that here.
And reminder, both of these men have already fought. They are both coming in here tired. And in the case of Kai Price, he won his first match by pin, but in the case of Cam Fox, he lost. You got to think chip on the shoulder. They're going to be coming back to talk to TJ, to talk to Natty, to say how this went. You don't want to say I lost twice. And let alone this, you know the teachers want to know who's the better student. And I'm just going to say it. Who's the better student? Pin.
Again, interesting maneuvering here, attempting to kind of reinvent the wheel here in a predicament like this. We've seen a couple of athletes submit basically to ground submissions here. And now it's a big back and forth. Very impressive.
And you can see the struggle from Cam Fox trying to escape Kai Price. And you notice no wasted movement from either athlete here as Fox again tries to get the arm up to do anything to stop Kai Price. But Price, man, just cracking the head of Cam Fox with that headlock.
Well, there's a certain amount of desperation when you're in a lock like that. You're trying to come up with what is the technicality, what is the answer to this quiz, but at a certain point, there is some desperation. You're going to kind of just claw and slap and do what you can to get back in the driver's seat.
Athleticism on display and familiarity.
Wow!
But caught by Price. Fox now in trouble.
Very impressive. Again, the chess match of all chess matches here. These two really matching each other move for move, hold for hold. It really is coming down to, do you have something else? Is there another kitchen sink you can throw out that maybe your fellow student isn't aware of?
And now the arm still under onslaught of Cam Fox, but I think Fox at least getting to the feet, trying to escape, and does take down Price. And look at the strikes here. Little southpaw action.
Oh, again, the technicality, the science being thrown out here, and it's just becoming a brawl between these two here. We might have some unfinished business we're seeing.
Yeah, and you notice we have no problem with closed fist here in Just Wrestling. The official letting these two go, and you can hear the reaction of all the fighters at ringside, man. This is breaking down, and everybody loves it.
Well, of any of the matchups we've had here, you would expect this one would be the most, quote-unquote, above board, the most deeply respectful. And the fact that it's getting down and dirty, we may have some unresolved issues here that are getting played out right here at Just Wrestling.
And you don't hold championships in this sport by being friends with everybody. You come in there to be the best, and mutual respect means hopefully at the end of the fight, these two can shake hands. They can kind of hug it out. Might take some time to calm down, don't get me wrong, but right now, man, this is your only chance to win. This is your only chance to have this fight in this moment in Just Wrestling. And I got to say again, man, who is going to be the show out from the Heart Dungeon?
That is the ultimate question here. It's been about respect of your peers all day, but this is on a completely new level. And wow, what a chop!
Cam Fox now coming to life again with those left hands, following as well with the right strikes. And I think we're getting to see a little more about Cam Fox, a guy that, had to train for a while, had to wait for an ankle injury to really finally get into the ring. Pinfall. You got to think there was built-up frustration during that healing process from summer 2020 all the way through 2022 when finally getting to get into the ring, to debut, to get out into the wild, so to speak. Well, we're out in the wild now, man. And boom, we're seeing some Cam Fox action.
Well, Trevin, you and I have seen our fair share of injured athletes come back from injury. And it usually goes one of two ways. Either they come back with a little bit of that fear, and you see them kind of a half a step slower than they used to be, or they come in really overcompensating. And in that case, they become even more ruthless, more dangerous than before the injury. And it could be a situation like that for Cam, that maybe, as you said, chip on the shoulder means a lot more aggressive than perhaps pre-injury could have been.
Think about it. You watch people get to grow. You watch people get opportunities that you think could be yours. You're not getting those opportunities when you're injured. And Kai Price is a perfect example of somebody who's just impressed since day one. but it could be all about Cam Fox now.
Impressive pin attempt right there in the center of the ring. Picture perfect. Trying to maintain momentum. That is the key here. Don't get frustrated. Don't get in your own way. You gotta stay on your opponent. That has been what we have seen in and out of this ring at Just Wrestling all day.
And here in our season finale, these two men have already fought. It is their second fight in the same day. And while they signed up to do it, your body doesn't necessarily agree. Pin and a very, very well done escape by Cam Fox just at the most important moment.
Well, these two, again, like you said, the spirit may be willing, but the body is mortal. So as much as these two may want to just keep fighting all day, eventually one of them is going to give out here.
Oof. And that could be Cam Fox. Here's Kai Price with the pin. Wow, signs of life from Fox.
These two have stayed on top of each other. No nonsense here. And again, as I said before, there's technicality all day, but at a certain point, it's fight or flight, and you just got to try to escape, and we saw that there from Cam.
And you notice the appreciation of all the other fighters who've watched these two just beat the piss out of each other, and now that chin breaker, is that going to help Cam Fox take this thing over?
Well, again, it's that ruthlessness. When you're this evenly matched, it comes down to who wants it more. Who has something more to prove? And I think this is the absolute epitome of that philosophy right now.
Wow, what a right hand. And as stated, man, you're seeing more and more of these today in our season finale of season 1. These are okay in Just Wrestling. Guys are here to fight, man. Who cares about a close fist? Let's see what they can do.
Yeah, there's ice packs and apologies afterwards. Right now, it is about who is the better athlete and who is just straight up tougher.
Beautiful strikes from Cam Fox, and execution style there. Could be the end for Price. Into the pin. No.
Dangerously close to a win there. Also dangerously close to time limit draw. It is do or die time if there ever was one for these two athletes. It comes down to you have got to go to your biggest guns. Whatever you've got lying in wait, now is the time to let it rip.
Yeah, the urgency, you know it's there, but the challenge is when you're in the fight, does your mind work right? Do you know? And oh, wait, small package. No.
Ooh. It is not about the long game here. It is about flash attempts, go big or go home.
Yeah, Hail Mary sometimes is a good thing, but that backstabber, is this it? No, Fox still in this thing. And I think you can tell the frustration on Kai Price's face, but of course exhaustion on both faces.
Absolutely, both of these athletes exhausted, really just running on fumes at a certain point, but it is about supremacy. It's about showcasing you are the star student of your school, of your academy.
Fox gets out of the way, catching Price.
Wow!
Russian leg sweep out of the corner. But now can Fox follow up? Heck, is either man still here or are they out?
We've seen neither one of these athletes really move a muscle there from impact. And now, referee Kai calling it down the middle.
Double knockout situation could be upon us, Zach. No way. No way. No one's moving.
You have got to be kidding me.
Now today we saw two fighters give it their all, but no satisfaction in victory. Both men could not answer the count. What a fight.
Gonna make for a very awkward ride home.
Make sure to head over to WrestlingOverEverything.com. Use code JUST for 10% off your entire order. Wrestling over everything. Just wrestle.
The season finale, the final fight. Which two fighters? Daniel Starling, Ori Gold. Let's go, guys.
Oh my, oh my. We have seen both these guys earlier in the season, both impressed. However, what a way to cap off the first season here. I am excited, Trevin.
And both of these guys fighting earlier, both winning by submission, by the way. Keep that in mind. I'm excited, Zach. You got two men about the same height. Yeah, Starling might have a little bit of a weight advantage. Slightly different styles, much different backgrounds. This is going to be exciting. What a way to wrap up this season of Just Wrestling.
Yeah, we've seen both these guys absolutely stand out there. Look at that. Sign of respect to start things off here. First matchup we've seen that. Really impressed already.
And Starling now locking up. And we've seen so much growth and change in Starling in recent history. And of course, Ori Gold stated it before, nearly a decade in the sport, which is crazy because dude's like 22. Starting in Israel, getting under the tutelage of guys like Walter and aka Gunther. And of course, more recently at Flatbacks. And of course, Starling, man, he's just been a road warrior. This is going to be a struggle by two tired men who, again, can submit you, looking like a submission predicament already.
Oh, absolutely. These two are both going to be looking to try to score that submission victory, really showcase that technical prowess here. And speaking of technical prowess, look at this. Both men struggling to try to tie the other one up here. A battle of wits, a chess game of bodies.
And you notice the counters for the counters, a great catch exchange there. Not surprising whatsoever. And I'm going to point it out again. Both have already fought. Both should be coming in here tired. And both have proven they can submit an opponent. Only one can win here in our final fight.
A lot of eyes on these two. And you know, one of the best things about Just Wrestling is any trainer worth their weight will tell you the true test is to go up against somebody who may be better than you. That's really where you learn the most in this business. And for a lot of these guys involved in Just Wrestling, this is that opportunity. Someone who's just a little bit better than you in X style or X method. This is really a sharpening of the future of pro wrestling.
And Ori Gold was showing that European technical style, but a beautiful counter and now control for Daniel Starling. And no sooner did the words come out of my mouth, you see both men with the counters again.
I would say a southern fried technical style coming from Dan Starling. The horror in the hoochie daddies, as it were. But these two here have absolutely matched each other hold for hold. And this is absolutely a different style here at Just Wrestling.
In another world, Daniel Starling actually took Jay Lethal, a former world champion, to the limit in a pure wrestling contest. Of course, this is a totally different atmosphere as Ori Gold with a hell of a escape, albeit you're seeing the showmanship you kind of come to expect from Ori Gold, and I'm not sure this is the time for it.
There is a certain natural element of showmanship, a certain inevitability if you are that confident and that good at what you do. However, you stated earlier in the season, Starling almost a serial killer in the squared circle in this particular atmosphere.
And Ori now getting serious, though. And you can argue sometimes the mind games. Sometimes the mind games can work wonders as both men now playing a high-stakes game of mercy, but into the pin. Able to escape. Wow, going right back at it.
Unfinished business here in that test of strength. And you're right. The confidence, the showmanship can be a mind game, but in a case like this, it may also be just a motivator for yourself, because when you are locking up like this, showing the agility, pushing your bodies to the limit, you gotta be your own cheering section, as it were.
Pin. And Ori just barely getting the shoulder up. Another pinfall attempt. Think about all the weight on Ori Gold during the bridge, and I'm impressed, but guess what? Starling with the answer.
Wow! You pointed it out right from the get-go. These two built very similar. These two very similar strengths, and yet able to match each other move for move, hold for hold, cover for cover.
Neither man has let go of the other. Another pinfall attempt. And now it's Starling have to struggle for every inch of this with the beautiful bridge. But now Ori, not as much weight though, but still, man, that's hundreds of pounds on you. Can you imagine holding a bridge like this?
That is insane. The structural sound of Starling here, unmoved by a full-grown man coming down on that weight right on top of you, right in that core. Ooh.
Yeah, the core power that was required by both athletes, and we're still connected here. And actually, it was a double pin, and now it's a double bridge.
Trevin, if someone doesn't come and break this up soon, I feel like this two are just going to be stuck as a bridge forever.
And as impressive as that exchange was, arguably at a stalemate, and perhaps that's the end of the stalemate there. Ori's been rocked.
You saw both men taking a moment, and Starling just immediately saying, all right, you know what? The technicality, I'm done now. And now it's down to toughness.
We get to find out who hits harder. And both men stepping up, both men now throwing the bombs.
These two evenly matched right in the center of the ring here. Bombs on bombs on bombs. These two just slugging it out here. About submission supremacy, not anymore. Now it is straight up toughness and maybe a knockout.
Yeah, the official Kai Douglas checking on Ori Gold. And that's the problem with a strike exchange, man. You give it your all when the adrenaline wears off. Not only are you in pain, but if you're still in the fight, how much more do you have left? And
now Starling not waiting for the answer.
Brainbuster rocking Ori Gold. You see the entire building coming to life. Pinfall. But no.
Wow. You saw Gold's whole body just crumble there and able to dig down deep. That was unbelievable. And again, just when we think we've seen everything from these two, one of them throws out something crazy. And another huge headbutt from Starling.
Taking the toll on both men, but Starling obviously not afraid to use his body as a weapon to his detriment, as long as he takes down his opponent, as Ori's tossed into that corner. And you got to think Ori getting the boot up, but used to this will be the part where I'd be tagging Hodar Horowitz as part of Better Together. That's not happening right now. This is singles action, and wow, the leg of Ori Gold.
And the sick grin on Starling's mug. Both these guys come from that tag team sort of strength here, but to really see both these men as singles acts and that single leg Boston Crab applied in the center of the ring.
And Ori desperately trying to make it to the ropes. But unfortunately, man, STF, this is not good for Ori. Close, but not quite, just makes it.
Again, the deviousness being shown on display here as Dan Starling just wrenching that leg over. Just disgusting.
And Starling stalking his opponent, Ori Gold. And as impressive as both men have been.
Looking for perhaps that submission that he won his last fight here with, but Ori Gold very wisely, shades of Andre the Giant, throwing his opponent into that corner and try to create a little space, but Starling back on.
Unfortunately for Ori, getting ripped in the face, but Ori once again taking the body of Starling into the corner.
But not able to capitalize, able to create the distance, but still just trying to catch his breath here, trying to get some strength back in that body.
Oof. Now coming to life is Ori Gold, and both men have shown they can go despite fighting twice. Northern Lights,
wow,
pin. Not enough. And even though Starling got out, look at the way Ori Gold stood back up. I think Ori right now has got adrenaline flowing.
Yeah, he is hyped right now and looking to put Starling away. What a clothesline.
And that may be the end into the pin, but not enough.
Wow. Thought he was nearly knocking him out of those tiny shorts, but only a 2 count as Starling still got some fight left in him here, but the momentum has swung in a huge way. Uh-oh.
And now the strikes. We've seen these palm strikes from Ori Gold before. Starling trying to weather the storm, swings wildly. And it could be submission time. Ooh. Yeah, that'll change things a bit. Got the arm, and now look at the elbows. Can Gold defend himself?
Just bludgeoning the man.
Ref stoppage. Daniel Starling wins.
No pomp and circumstance here, just sheer brutality out of Dan Starling. And what a way to end Just Wrestling Season 1.
And that, my friends, is what Just Wrestling is all about. For Zach Romero, I'm Trevin Adams, and the fight will continue at Just Wrestling.